What up, world? It's your boy NOS, and this is the Core Culture Podcast. It is Sunday, August 21st. It is 1:15 p.m. I know you guys aren't ready for this early of a show. I understand, but we're making some schedule changes just to accommodate an amazing artist coming out of Tampa. This dude has done some shit here that most people would be like, love or pay to be able to do. This man has done it all on his own, and we're going to bring him on today. Let's give it up for K3. What up?
Yo, what up? What's good with you, man? How you doing?
Good, bro. I'm glad to have you on the show. I want to bring everybody else on too. What up, Yoani? Oh, so you can see them? Sorry. Wait, give me a second. I'll move it. There you go. Can you see everybody's face now, man? Does everybody look good to you?
All right. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you all right.
Yeah, everybody can hear you. And then, of course, Frankie, what up?
Frankie Hubbard's world famous. Big shout out, Mr. K in the back, my Core Culture family. Always a pleasure to be here. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah. So this week we got an interview. Obviously, this is kind of new for us because we don't do that many, but definitely wanted to bring on some local arts from Tampa, the homie K3. K3, man, let's give it to him, bro. It's been a while since we talked the last time. What's changed since then?
Well, I have an album out now, so that's a huge development. I remember that being like one of the main things that, we talked about last time was just like the making of it and what preparations we were making and so on and so forth. But it's out. It's called Chilling and Maintaining. It's on all streaming platforms. And I'm very proud of it. So I'm just doing what I can to promote it better as time goes on. And through that, I'm learning like different marketing techniques. I'm learning a lot more about marketing the more that I'm out here actually doing what I have to get the product out there, Outside of that, I've been hosting the remix, formerly Wave Theory Shuffle Play. We had to rebrand, and so it's a new event. It's just me, DJ D-Faz, and Broken Mode running it. So that's been going pretty strong every single Tuesday at Shuffle. Yeah, just business as usual out here. And
So you're talking the remix thing. That's a live showcase you got?
yeah, so it's a multi-genre open mic. The formula is still pretty much basically the same, but it's a different event entirely since Wave Theory is no more. And we're all pretty much operating independently, but we still want to have an event out there like for the people. We don't want the event to go away. We just want to have like a stage there for all artists in the city, out of the city, just anywhere really.
So that brings me to an interesting point because I always try to ask artists who are performers because that's one of the things I noticed. I was checking up on your IG page. The fellas, Nas and Yoani were hitting me up and tagging me on some of your stuff, and I noticed that you seem to live on the stage, which I thought, which impressed me because there's a lot of artists that will talk a lot of shit, they'll play you their demo. They got 50 songs, but when it comes to their stage presence, they don't have any. And I noticed you did, you kind of, from what I saw from the little limited clips I got, it seemed like you repped like a vet would. So that was something that I could really appreciate. So let me ask you a question. If you could elaborate a little bit on your first time touching the stage. I always like to ask rappers, artists, singers, whoever, their first time touching the stage. Were you nervous? Did the crowd react funny to you? Any weird stories about your first time? Give me a little dose of what you got on that. First experience with the stage.
Like in life ever, or just like being out in the street? Like
no, stage. I mean, I'm talking performing. Your first time on a microphone. It could be at church. It could have been at the school talent show. You could have been at the local open mic. What's your first experience hitting an actual stage?
So it's funny. Like I think because the first time I ended up like writing a rap, I was like 11 or 12, something like that. But I think my first time like trying to perform and just do something hip hoppy at all was like when I was like 9 or 10, like at a summer camp that I was like going to, and they had like a talent show. And really, it wasn't like a concrete performance or anything. I just liked that, I think as a kid, I just liked being able to say something on the mic and just like have like a crowd react at all. So like, kids would get up there and they would like do covers of songs that, were their favorite, or they'd like do a dance, or like I remember a group of my friends that did like a basketball kind of like a choreographed like routine thing. They did all kinds of crazy stuff. But like me, like I just did like the hook to "Who Let the Dogs Out" a few times, and then the whole like room of like 100 confused like kids, just, like stuff. They eating it up because like I'm a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna boo.
Yeah, Who Let the Dogs Out? That's tried and true, man. So you started with a party rocker classic right there. Okay.
I just did something that I knew they were gonna like. The entire room was gonna react to. You know what I'm saying? No, nothing. Super duper prepared or creative or original or anything. It was just like, okay, like let me just do something cool. And then like, from then on, I just been writing for a long time. For years and
okay. So you started pretty young, it sounds like. I too have an experience with the summer fun camp, sort of. They throw you on stage, and we covered a Slick Rick song, Lottie Dottie. Very young, same thing like you said, 10 years old, And I remember the same thing. It was, the crowd was like, their reaction was like, they went crazy, but it was also confusion, like, wow, because that's a little bit advanced for a 10-year-old, especially Who Let the Dogs Out and all those other things. It shows there's a little bit of a rhythmic thing going on there. So I could appreciate that for sure. And no, you said you got something for me?
Yeah. I wanted to ask K3, were you ever like, I want to say, did you ever have any stage fright at all throughout that process of learning to, be an artist?
Honestly, like, nah. I mean, it wasn't even like, I mean, of course, like you get like the jitters, like you're nervous like beforehand, but as far as like getting on stage and then actually, no, like I did have like a moment one time, like it was for Novocaine and Friends live. Like it was like 2017 or 2018, something like that. And I had basically like I was one of like the openers like for the show essentially. And like I had written something like, beforehand, just like real fresh, just like off gate, and then like memorized it and everything. It was like, worded all cool, like specifically for that event, and it was my first like time being on stage in front of like many people. It was like 200, 300 people in there, something like that. You know what I mean? And like got up there and I'm like, yeah, like I'm just doing this just like I do every week at Smoking Words, da da da. And I get up there and I start doing it, and then I just start like messing it up. Like I forgot, stumbling, stuttering, like, there's people like in the crowd snickering and stuff, and I'm just like bombing, right? And I'm like, all right, y'all, like, I'm gonna just do something else. Is that cool? Everybody's like, yeah, okay, go ahead. And so like I just ended up spitting like a verse from like one of the very first like actual like songs I had written, and they just went crazy. Like they loved it. So that's like my one and only like stage fright thing that I've ever had. But outside of all that, I was always pretty prepared and pretty like willing, eager to perform.
Nice.
Yeah.
You might have to share your mic, No. No, you might have to share your mic, bro. We can't hear him at all.
All right. I was gonna say that I haven't really gotten on a stage like that, but one of the few times that I have been on a stage, I understand that feeling you get when you move a crowd and everybody's with you and everybody's connected and it's dope. That's one thing that I like about live events, when everybody's connected and we're on the same wavelength, So, hold on. This guy's always messing with his shit.
Now you sound good, bro. You sound good. Don't grab the mic so crazy. You know what I mean? It's, a little sus, but you're all good, bro. What are you, fuck Master Flex? You about to drop a bomb on us? This is K3.
So K3, so fast forward now, you had that feeling when you were young. How did it feel when you were on stage opening up for Wu-Tang?
it didn't feel real, bro. Like it didn't feel real at all. Like it just felt like an actual dream to like be up there and see like nothing but just people. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big venue. You know what I mean? Like from when like I stepped in there and was like walking through like, you know, the Ritz, like through that long hall before like the big room. It was, even that was packed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's real when you gotta like, you know, bump past people and weave in and out of, you know, the crowd to get to just the backstage area. Like it was a lot, but then actually being up there and, you know, talking to the crowd and rapping and whatnot, like again, it was like rehearsal, but it wasn't. It was just, I can't even really fully describe it, bro. It was so many people. It just felt real. It felt right. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know, dream come true type stuff. You know, if you really want to, you know, put it that way.
Did you have any interaction with the any of the band members from Wu? You know, did any of them, like, you know, would you pass somebody in the green room and, you know, you slide them the demo tape or the SoundCloud link or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Like, I mean, essentially, like, they let me, I guess, people who had bought, like, their tickets, like, there was, like, an option where you get to buy a ticket that would give you, you know, backstage access for, like, a meet and greet or what have you with Raekwon, Jizza, and Ghostface. And pretty much it was just Ghostface in there. By the time I got back there, I didn't like, of course, like I didn't buy the ticket or anything, but they're like, okay, yeah, if you perform, you can go in there. Like it'd be cool. So, you know, I'm waiting and whatnot. And like, I get back there and then like, I see him, he sees me. And I'm just like, what's up? It's like, it was, you know, 5-6 other people I didn't recognize or know in there, but like, I imagine it probably like his entourage or like, you know, people from Ritz or, you know, what have you. But like, well, what's up, man? Like, come on over. Da, da, da. So like, we just like, you know, get over there, shake his hand and whatnot, thank him for, you know, all he's done and all the influence he's had and so on and so forth. Wow. And, you know, and he's like, I told him that I was one of the openers that like, you know, I opened up for the show and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, like, yeah, man, like we heard you was nice. Like, and I was like, oh shoot, like that's what he said I was nice. Like that's sick, you know.
Nice, man.
Like,
you got props from an OG. Okay.
It's an amazing feeling to get recognition from somebody that of their caliber, right? I mean, in all cases, K3, I mean, you were up there, bro. You ripped the stage. Luckily, I got to see this firsthand live. So it was amazing to me to see like one of, you know, a local dude from Tampa opening up for Wu-Tang. That's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So talking about big deals, let's get into some music, man. I want to showcase what K3 can do. Let's get into this one. It's called Waters.
Oh, no, the instrumentals.
Yeah. I got a call from my dog. I was like, yeah. He was like, match. I was like, sure. Caught me at a pretty good time. I just caught. Give me like 15. I'ma be on your block. Now I'm running down the road with a no. The block is hot. I'm driving kind of slow. I spot, I park, then I walk, and I already smell that loud before I knock. Starting out to be a pretty cool kind of day, sipping Kool-Aid like a robust Cabernet, topping off a leaf with a little bit of heat, with the flames to it, then we breathe what's underneath. I see these trees are really the bee's knees, rolling up another and I see my brother sleep. Had a nice laugh and my belly hit my back and I felt like I needed a snack, but then I got a call from my dog. I was like, yeah, she was like, match. I was like, sure, cool, come through, I'm about to cook food. My man got rum, now we just need you. Ain't smoked all day and the day been rough. Won't be civilized till I roll up. If you don't fire up, then you might get cut. So yeah, hurry up and don't forget blunts. Lock that bottom lock, peeled off smooth. Hit a gas station, 10 on 2. Looking at the blunts, there's so many to choose. What do I do? 1882. Back to the whip, back to the road. Notepad on my lap, right around I roll. Speeding like a 6-cylinder with a 6-cylinder willing to do the bidding of a villain is over. But the sun got low, pulled up with the smoke. Ate a hot plate, had a drink, then I rode. Laughing at her lung tops, didn't let the fun stop. Living like life is but a dream, like why not? Kick it with the whole crew, eat soul food, like a whole fool, play board games, watch cartoons. Hit the door and let her know we gotta smoke soon. Don't wait in the afternoon. But then I got a call from my girl. I was like, yeah. She was like, take me. I was like, word. Yeah, I'm hungry. Can we get food? But I just ate. What did you say? I said, cool. Let's do something new. I'ma scoop in a few. Wear something cute. I'ma get fly too. When it's just us, something I won't do. We can pick the whole town, me and you. Cool. Didn't really want to do it, but I had to bite the bullet. Really just want to lay down.
Yeah.
Made me grin, and I caught a second wind.
Woo! Man, you know what?
That was
I'm not
dope.
even gonna play the song because I want them to go out and get the album and listen to this shit. But bro, I love this tune. This song reminds me of the storytelling raps from the '90s, from the 2000s, early 2000s for all you new heads, and it's really modernized that style. What went into making this track? I mean, what gave you the idea to do it?
I mean, really, when like I first heard the beat, like it was really just something where I was like, okay, yeah, like this is a story. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one of the things, like storytelling is like, it's kind of, for lack of a better term, like cliche in some circles. So I wanted to do it in a way that like I hadn't heard it done before. And it was really just like, it was really simple, but then it wasn't, because the song took like 3 months to write. You know what I mean? And it wasn't hard to like come up with what to say, but really just like how to fit it like all in and maintain like breath control. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, wasn't really nothing to it. Like, it's just describing a day in the life of like somebody that doesn't like do music. That was just really me talking about how life was before I had gotten into doing music on a more consistent basis and just it being a hobby or something I did like at an open mic every now and again. You know what I mean? Shit was a lot simpler back then. You know, around that time I was just doing construction, basically just like going to work and then leaving and then, you know, pulling up to a homie house and, you know, smoking real quick and then pulling up to somebody else's house to go eat and smoke and then pulling up to somewhere else to just, you know, go out drinking or what have you, you know, just
Hell
simple, you know.
Good old days. Good old days. So if you don't mind, let me jump in because NOS got me on this whole, you know, influence thing right now with his question. So what I was hearing, this is just my 2 cents in it, and I think you may know about these artists, hieroglyphics. I hear a Hyro influence in there. I hear a Far Side influence as well. I don't know if you listen to those artists at all. They're like more of a West Coast vibe.
More so, yeah, I've heard more Far Side than Hyro, but Hyro's dope.
Okay, yeah, Hyro's dope. Definitely check Hyro out. Festo, what's the other one? Casual. He's like a sleeper member of the group. Check them out for sure. I think you'll get some like, you know, it's one of these awakening moments where you hear this pure hip hop coming out, you know, that defines what you were saying. You were talking about this time where you went from house to house, you know, basically house crashing, going, yo, I'm going to eat over here. We're going to smoke over here. We're going to watch TV over there. You know, I'll write some bars at my boy's crib, you know, and you were out. So another piece of energy I get from you, from that song in particular, is a B-boy vibe. I don't know if you get a lot of dancers or whatnot. If you don't, you should probably market that towards a B-boy vibe, because I could see that being played alongside these more rhythmic, higher paced B-boy songs, you know. That may even be a candidate for some remix, you know, the remixes for sure.
I dig that. That sounds dope. I definitely appreciate that. I never really considered that.
It's up in that up rock area, you know. You gotta like, you gotta mark it outside the circle sometimes in our normal pattern of thinking. Do you ever see anyone dancing? Like, do you ever get like the little mosh pit at the front of your shows when you do that song?
Like I'll see like the crowd as a whole just like nodding fast there, like jumping or like raising their hands or whatever, or you know, some people just like sort of dancing to themselves or with each other. But yeah, that's definitely a valid point, because like as many b-boys as I know and like see, like there's no reason like I can't like, you know, song and like just make that like something that, you know, like put a video to it, or just make a TikTok out of it with somebody dancing to it or something.
Wow,
I
look
just
at that.
download.
You took it to the next level. There you go. See, that's the way to do it, because that's a quick, easy way to get that song in a viral. Because when you see someone dancing and they're getting down, then that song backs it. Wow, you got something there, man. Definitely tap into that, K. That sounds dope.
Appreciate it, man.
Got the picture. It's right
I think
here.
it sounds like Yoani wants to say something. Yoani, we can't hear you. Get on the mic, bro. Pass the mic, bro. It's like a.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Nah, you gotta share the mic.
Man, crazy.
This guy don't fucking listen. Anyway, he has been around some good music, because he's around this DJ named DFaz, that he has an old love for hip hop. I'm saying he likes older shit and mixing shit, and he's a good DJ. And it's cool that y'all are together, and you're a good rapper. I love your music, and can't wait to see where you go from here. What plans do you have now?
Like I say, like I've just pretty much redirected my focus to running the remix and getting content together, because a lot of the old content that I had is, it's like in an old, this is thing with like iPhones, right? Like, it's just like, it's incredibly hard to just like use data you have when you move like from phone to phone. So like the old phone that I had has like all of my old videos from like performances and stuff, and just footage from being out and about in the city, high quality photos that I could use to just be a little bit more active on the socials, because I'm not usually, you know what I mean? Like, matter of fact, like when we get done with this interview, I'm gonna take this and then just put it out there, so people are like, people can see that I'm still out here. Like, I don't want to like get stagnant with my dream, you know what I mean? Because it's real easy to like let that happen, especially when the changes of life happen. You know what I mean? I got a new job, takes up a lot of time, saving up to just invest in myself better, live a better quality of life, and doing that while maintaining your dreams is hard, because dreams don't pay the bills like giving up your dreams would. You know what I mean?
Tons of sense.
So yeah, just building content, gaining old content from before and creating new content now, all which take time. In addition to that, trying to perform a whole lot more. So just getting booked for shows, just getting out here, supporting other people at their shows. The next thing I got going on that's confirmed is Drippin' Bars 2 for the Loud on 7th. That's going to be on September 9th. And I open season to build that night. I got to come through, check us out.
Yeah, it's a good little local event, and it's got a lot of acts, and it's always a lot of talent. Tampa's loaded with talent. To be able to be in Tampa and be a part of that hip hop scene, I love going on Tuesdays. I haven't been a little bit, but I know it's dope there. We were going on a regular, and I know it's still going on, and we still plan on going, just not as often. Who are your acts that you like there? I mean, I know you host it, everybody. Who are the ones that stand out for you that you like to, that think you're going to go places and you enjoy watching? I mean, I know they're all talented, but which ones stand out for you?
So like there are like, it's a lot of MCs that definitely come through. Like one of the first that come to mind is Rel. He's dope. I haven't had him like feature yet, but he will like very soon. He kind of
we follow him. He's dope. Didn't we have him on the show, right? Yeah. He does that nerd rap or whatever he calls it.
Yeah, he calls it nerdcore.
Nerdcore.
I think it's like real interesting because like I never heard
nerdcore is dope.
Yeah, like I come to mind, and like the way that like he raps about like nerdy subjects are just, it's unique. It's unique to me.
Unique, and I think it stands out. And like a place where Frankie's from in Orlando, I think he would shine over there because they like the whole.
I would. I'm a nerd, man. I love nerdcore, man. If you guys get a chance, nerdcore is like a sub-genre of hip hop. But man, I tell you what's inside of it are these amazing characters who are very intelligent. And if you're up on what they're up on, it's a whole other language. Speaking nerd alone is a whole other language. Bring in real bars, real hip hop with that, and you've got this this little amazing microcosm of music. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hey, listen, you ever need some tech support? Holla at your boy. I got you. Nah, that's dope, K, man. And listen, just to get my last thought in and my last piece of advice for you, K3. You said earlier that you're trying to balance a job, a work-life balance with your music and your creativity and whatnot. One thing I'll say, man, is, and this is something I've learned from quitting over and over and over again, right, is don't quit. You want to stick to something minimum 10 years. At the 10-year mark is when you actually become a master at your craft. The way I tell artists to think about it is pretend you're a business, right? Year one is putting your signs out saying, hey, look, we exist. We're a donut shop. You know, year two is hoping that your customers become loyal. Year three is make it or break it. Am I going to continue to do this or not, right? You've already passed year three, I'm assuming. By year five is when most businesses fail. How many years do you have in the game right now, Kay?
See, that's kind of like the tricky part about it. I don't really know if we're going to talk about like how long I was like associated with like wave theory, which is where most of my like success has come from. Just being, you know, with Mike Mass and D-Faz, Cat the Duchess, Perception, for a time, Psych Montano, Albert J, back when we was all like, you know, really running the streets and like doing shows like that little time period in between like 2019 to like 2020-ish, 2021, like that was wild. You know what I mean? Like that was like a core part of like my development as an artist. So like if we're gonna like roughly say like for the past 3 years that I've been out here, like been 3, but if we're gonna talk from like when I started going to Smoking Words at Dunn's River Cafe, like back in like 2017 when I first started like, you know, performing and sharpening, like I'd say about like 5, you know what I mean?
There you go. So see, this is what I'm trying to say, Kay, not to jump in or cut you off or anything, man, but this is where most artists, they're at the 5th year. You're at your 5th year of your business, your donut shop. And this is the make or break it year. This is the year that you're saying to yourself, do I continue on this path? Do I keep messing with, you know, these people, these circles, these networks, this sound, this style? Should I give it up? Should I not? Should I go full forward? You know, so this is just my last piece of advice to you before I hand it over to NOS and Mr. Yo to get their questions in. Do not give up. You have 5 more years before this becomes something that will stick with you the rest of your life. You'll forever be known for it. Your network is going to grow from here on out. Don't quit. Don't give up. You already have an amazing aura, an amazing energy. The music I'm hearing is amazing. You're respectful to the culture and what it means. And from what I'm hearing, man, you know, respect to you, man. Keep going. I want to check back with you in 5 years. You feel what I'm saying? And see what my man K3 got going on. What's up? Let's go.
I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, let's get into another track here. This one's called I Dig It.
Yeah. That's fine. Get it. For brown and around is where you wanna go. That's fine. Dig it. Yeah. Feeling the vibe you send in my mind's eye. Quiet as cat, we got a lot in kind. Making the journey through the burning yearning of the windows of your soul. You making the same trip until we get close. I'm elated by the elevating conversation. This infatuation got me feeling like a fool. Been here before, but I just can't ignore gravitational force pulling my brain to yours. Tongue tied till I take time to tell you for the 10th time. You're like 10 dimes. You're the kind of dame that can stand when it rains. You didn't have to share a pain, so you wanna take your time. Here to tell you that's fine. That's fine. I get it. I get it. If around and around is where you wanna go, that's fine. That's fine. I dig it. I dig it. I'ma do it till you mine. That's fine. That's fine. I get it. I get it. If around and around is where you wanna go, that's fine. That's fine. I dig it. I dig it. I'ma do it till you mine. No, we can sugarcoat the love or the giving a chance, but that doesn't do much. Plus, we'll get ants, rose-colored Ray-Bans, cover the eyes of many. Take your time with the naked eye, we'll see plenty. See, we could be that duo, sharing each other solo. No more amateur point of view about the GoPro. The best of your beauty is hidden underneath your skin. Hits me with a fever, never thought I'd feel again. Saying you a keeper is an understatement. With the passion of a lover and the love of a friend, we can trip, we can still.
Hey, you make Tampa proud, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, bro. I definitely, needed to hear all of what everyone has said thus far, because this shit is hard. This is no joke. Doing music is not easy. It's nothing what I thought it would be when I was younger and had no idea what I was doing about.
You not only sit there and rap and entertain us with this awesome music, but you also host. You get to see all these other acts here at Echo.
That's what I do. I rap good. You know what I mean? And hosting is like sort of
well, you're keeping the culture going. You got to take pride in that.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Sometimes, like most times, it just kind of feels like I have like a responsibility to like the event itself, like to the stage, to like keeping the stage there and active for people who want it and need it. You know what I mean? It's basically it's basically still like a stage just for people who are serious about their craft and who also have a dream. You know what I mean? Like who want to get better at performing. It's like, y'all were saying earlier about how there are artists who just kind of talk a big game but don't really have like any stage presence or don't really have like good stage etiquette or or what have you. And then there are artists that know the value of performing, of knowing how to perform, how to move a crowd, and put on a good show. So that's kind of what the stage is for. It's really sort of like a training ground for artists, like kind of come together and just, iron sharpens iron kind of thing,
Yeah, you've had a nice training ground. I like, what you did, and the performances make you better each time you do one. And I'd like to see, where you go from here. I hope big things come your way because, we love your music. It's, we would tell you, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I like your music. If I didn't like it, I'd be like, yeah, bro, it's all right. Or, I'll give them some positive reinforcement, but I wouldn't be all on like, yo, man, I love it. And I love your stuff, man. It really reminds us of our music that we enjoyed back in the day. So it's literally off the same pages, like the baby tracks, the extra footage.
Oh, yeah.
But it's some dope stuff. I hope you continue. We love it. And thanks for coming through.
Oh yeah, I mean honestly, K3, man. The fact that I've been there to see you grow through all of this stuff, like a lot of people don't realize, and I know because you've seen me through this whole time. But ever since that day at Ella's, if you can remember that far back, from the Ella days to like present day. So I want to say I got to witness at least 3 of the years that you were growing throughout that 5-year time frame before you started to like get real big. I remember we went to what was that place? First Chance, Last Chance. You guys did case there once. You know what I'm saying? So hold on. It's been dope, man.
Hold on. I remember the First Chance, Last Chance was where we first saw you, and it's one of those things like we see hip hop, so it's got to be good for us to turn our head. But I'm walking. And I had to stop and look and like, wow, I had to physically go right up in that front in the seat and sit down and listen because it was some dope shit. And that's it. I fell in love in the moment that first song. That's it. We love your shit. It's awesome. I hope you continue. And, we support you. Go Tampa.
Appreciate it, man.
Mr.
Much
K, I
love.
got a quick question for you, man. I'm thinking here because I'm listening to the last joint we heard. Very, very lyrical. What's your process for writing? When you go in the booth, I don't know if you sit and write to music or do you just write separately? Because you almost have this. The reason I bring it up is because you almost have this poetic approach, like someone who would write a poem first and then turn that into a rap. And this is you reminded me of someone I haven't thought of in years. There's a poet named Saul Williams. Saul Williams. He has a song called "Twice the First Time." One of the most groundbreaking things ever. Russell Simmons put him on Def Comedy Jam or something, or Def Poetry Jam. I apologize. This album will change your life because it's just poems over hip hop beats, but the concepts behind it are real deep. So Saul Williams, check that out. But that reminded me of you a little bit. There's sort of a poetry. What's your approach to writing? How do you go in?
Well, it really just kind of starts with like if it's no beat, like which is what I like writing a lot of my 16s to, like just stuff that I have like on deck to keep my pen sharp. Like if I'm just like writing to like a certain rhythm in my head, or there's like a flow that I'm experimenting with, like I'll just go off of that. But a lot of times it just comes from like the music itself. Like what is the music making me feel, or what is this period of time in my life feel like right now, and when it comes to writing 16s, like that's just a casual, like, okay, I don't need a beat to write these kind of thing. And with songs, like it can go either way. I can write it like with or without a beat, but with 16s, it's just like, well, I guess it's kind of like, I don't know. I go off of feelings usually, you know what I mean? How Prince and Mint Condition and Michael Jackson made me feel growing up when I was, like developing my musical taste. That's how I want to make others feel with my music. That's kind of one of the main goals that I want to accomplish. And with writing songs like I Dig It, I was really just kind of pulling from like experiences I've had, like, other people's experiences, like, and just, applying what I learned about lyricism and just hip hop altogether, like to the pen and pad, and there's something like Sade said one time, like where like she doesn't like write anything at all unless like she feels compelled to, like unless like she's like inspired to, you know what I mean? And that kind of encompasses like a lot of what I do. Like I don't just like write for the sake of, unless like I really, feel something, you know what I mean? And it might sound like a little cliche, like at first, but it is really kind of how it goes, which, could explain why sometimes it'll take so long to write a song. Like I was saying earlier, like Yurt took me like 3 months to write, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I caught that earlier. That's kind of why I asked the question, because I noticed that, I can tell you're putting work in. You're not stopping at the normal 8-bar, 12-bar. I'm done. This is, you're continuing to push the limits of the song. So I appreciate that. I could definitely hear it shining through, man. And again, 5 years from now, man, mark my words, people, 5 years from now, all right, we have a genius on our hands, a genius in the making, all right?
Yeah. So let's hop into the last track here. This one's called Baby Kenny, and we'll end the show with that. Bring it back. We'll let everybody know where to find you. But let's hop into the music right here. This one is Baby Kenny.
Yeah. It's Baby Kenny. Yeah. Baby Kenny walk in, heart start stopping. Pen pad in a PBR, bar hopping. Eyes watching, they know I'm quicker than a blink, slicker than a wink, and the spitting image of a king. Prolific without a pick. Plight of a quiet kid is trying to find a conduit for the lightning inside of them. Powerful presence is luminescence is evident. Messages make a mess of your mind like ballistic gelatin. Shockwave enough to decimate your skeleton. Blow your body to bits, make a meal fit for a pelican. On fire, I use whatever for accelerant. From syntax to diction to subject to predicate.
Tell me that sample wasn't the shit, Frankie.
That was fire, bro. I like that. Little MOP. Man, I could sit here all day and just, you bring. We know what I like about you, K? You kind of bring this whole reminisce vibe. You got me just thinking like, oh man, like from the good old days. Like, remember that time in the locker room when blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? You kind of have that energy to you, man. I like that. Keep that going. Good vibes. Good vibes.
Thanks,
Hell
man.
yeah, hell yeah. Well, let's do this, everybody. Let's take a second to say goodbye to everybody. Let's take a second to say thank you to everybody who tunes in each and every week. You know where to find me at The Real Noslin everywhere. You can find the podcast at Core Culture Pod on Twitter and Facebook. And you can go over to Instagram and hit us up there at Zero C Media. Frankie, where can they find you?
Frankie Hovers, world famous Flying Junkies. Big shout out to my Core Culture family. Thank you guys for having me today. You can find me on the Core Culture podcast, of course. You can also find me at Flying Junkies everywhere. It's going down. Peace and blessings. One love, Tampa. Coming to you live from Orlando. I'm gonna throw this over to Yo. Give it to him, baby.
Hey, but hold on, man. Hold on. We started late. It ain't even been 40 minutes. Y'all, let me know.
They want overtime. They want overtime. Bing, 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 bing. Overtime bonus round.
Gotta go. We got more stuff to talk about. Anyway, thank you for coming through. We appreciate the vibe. We love your music. Is there anything else you want to say to the people? Because I feel like, you had something to say.
Pop out to the remix every single Tuesday from 8 to midnight. If you do art, if you know people that do art, have them come through and share their art with us. Any genre, it's limited. You can do whatever you want. Everybody gets 2 tracks, 2 pieces, just no rapping or singing over your vocals, please. Check out my album, Chillin' and Maintaining. It's on Spotify, on Apple Music. Just look up, KAYHREE in all caps. K space 3. Had to make a change to my name because there's already an artist with the KII, but I had K.III, all caps. So had to make that change, but it's made. The album's out. Y'all go check it out.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's what they got.
Anyway, thank you for coming through. Yeah, I love that. I love the place. Love the. I'm gonna have to come see you. I do art, so maybe I'll come through with some of my art.
Yeah, definitely. Got to, man. Love to have you.
Hell yeah. So let's end the show right here with this last little bit of the track. This was Baby Kenny.
With no limits, in the spitting written clouds bigger than cumulonimbus. They bear witness to the baddest in the land. Catching up to me is like catching smoke with your hands. It ain't easy being a beast when they want you to be a man. The enemy needs a weak, so they tweet what you understand. The things that you eat, the way that you think, they seek for their hands. Don't let them reap what they plan. Take a stand. Time ticking and talking. Y'all clock watching. I do my part, leaving my mark so that I'm not forgotten. Heart of a Spartan, I'm a conqueror regardless. Whether the sun is out or I'm walking in utter darkness. Power that's within me is greater than any. Not the only one, but they bag him just one of many. It's the kind that keep the world spinning, giving new beginnings to the ready, able, and willing. A love that's never ending. Mustard seed in hand, the plan is keep living. Use time wise, I might not have plenty. More than a conqueror, I'm a conquer any. The only way is up and I'm ascending. They call me Baby Kenny.
Fire.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Kenny. Definitely one of my favorite tracks you ever made. The Baby Kenny track really just like shows who you are as an MC, the lyrical prowess. The beat is ridiculous. And of course, just amazing across the board, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. All right, everybody, we are done. This is the show. Thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate it so much. Remember to check us out every second and fourth week or Sunday, of the month, and we'll be around.
Why are we cutting it?
Because we're done. This is it.
Why do you say it's done?
Fitty.
We motherfucker. How are you? There's no INT. Are we gonna be done or what?
We're done.
Maybe we got to do a second show. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe later. We'll reconvene. Kenny, man, again, bro. Right. Thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate you. Peace out, man.